This Kev, I'm here with Amir, the original Black, and we're gonna go over a few questions and concerns that people may have had about the video that we just released a few days ago.
As he said, my name is Amir. I go by the original Black on social media. And yeah, we released the video a few days ago, and as I stated, we was gonna go live today for any questions, comments, or concerns about this video. But before I answer or respond to any questions, there's a few things I want to state. First and foremost, the video or anything I've done since being released from the penitentiary is nothing to glorify my past, me and my comrades' past. I'm not glorifying anything that we've done in the past. This is solely to speak to the youth that's wreaking mayhem in the city of Philadelphia or across the country. My theory is, if you have a clog in your sink, you wouldn't call a dentist to fix that clog. You would call a plumber. So for what's going on in society today, I think that myself and my comrades are the best people to address that. Because at one time, we was a part of the problem in the city of Philadelphia and all over the eastern seaboard. We caused a lot of problems, we wreaked a lot of havoc, and we sold a lot of drugs. So to change the narration of the JBM just blowing money, I decided to start Just Better Men. And I decided to go around and address these issues because I've truly changed my life. And I know some of my comrades has changed their lives as well. So as I stated, this is not to be done. This wasn't done to glorify anything or pacify anybody else's ego. This is solely a learning experience, and we're trying to teach the youth of the day that you're going down the same path that we went. Everything you're doing, we've done. Everything you've seen thus far, we've seen it before and been a part of it. Also, one thing I want to address, that video was done a few months after I was released from prison after doing 34 years for a wrongfully conviction, which I've been exonerated from. And you can go to the page of exoneration and look up my name and my co-defendant Anthony Reed, and you will see we was exonerated and how we was exonerated. But this video was done, and I didn't know anything about videos and sitting down and talking about my past. So I may have left out a few things, but I do know one of the biggest things I left out was Southwest Philadelphia. Southwest Philadelphia was a second home to me, second only to North Philly. North Philly is where I'm from, but Southwest Philly welcomed me with open arms. And I want to give a shout out to Southwest Philly because I left them out when I was talking in the video. But I definitely want to give a shout out to Southwest because I made a lot of friends out there. I still have a lot of friends out Southwest who love me. And like I said, it was left out of anxiousness and nervousness in doing the first video. I see I'm getting several waves from many people and I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. This is Kev. This is my young comrade. Me and Kev became close when I came home. You know, he's one of the instruments that helped me in my adjustment back into society. He's also a manager, my manager. And he's helping me out, grooming me for, you know, this public life of public speaking and trying to save our youth. So if I know everybody's celebrating their holiday, I didn't choose this day because of that, because I don't celebrate these holidays because I'm Muslim and we only have 2 holidays. I chose this day because it's, you know, Thursday was a good day. So if the feedback is minimum, I understand, and we will do this again. So if anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns about Just Better Men, anything that I have said in the video, or anything that you may want to know about, feel free to send those questions while we're live. You see any on here?
Let me just say something too, though. Like, we gotta stop grinding each other to sawdust. We gotta get behind different people from the grassroots that's making moves like him, because ultimately it's a level of sophistication that it took for them to be able to do what they did. They was teenagers when they was running around in the city. So if he's that same person but just wiser, he can apply that same level of sophistication to help the kids out in the city. And it may not be the way that people understand or the way you would do it, as long as it works. That's all it's really about. So it's okay for him to make money off his story legally. He's been employed gainfully since he's been home. He's not committed any crimes. So we got to understand that in our community, we got to support each other more and support people that's in his position, because he could bring resources and bring a lot of stuff to the community, because he's very well connected, that can help a lot of these young kids understand, like, you know, there's different ways of moving around in the city.
Let me address Trick. What's that? Trick Weeds Music. What's going on, brother? Thank you for the dua. I appreciate that. And keep making dua. I will try my best. Well, I will not try. Keep pushing forward. North Side Bull. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for your words, brother. Yes, I am your old head, and I will continue to be your old head. But like my comrade said, this is solely for the youth. You know, since I've been home and before I came home, you know, I sat back in the penitentiary and I watched a pattern of us putting ourselves in a position for the authorities to put us in prison, or for the authorities to kill us. Okay, Kyrie, I see you. Assalamu alaikum. One of the things that, man, it was heart-wrenching to me, like I said, I lost my son to gun violence. You know, so my thing is to try to do my best to reach, if I can only reach one of the youngins, you know, that thinks that, you know, carrying a gun and busting his gun is the way to do things, you know, it's not. I left plenty young men, old men, men who came to jail young, who are now old in the penitentiary, who took the same path, you know, who wreaked havoc, who was the heavy hitters in society when they were out here. And, you know, they sit in the penitentiary, you know, wishing and praying that they could someday get back into society. You know, Allah blessed me to get back into society with the help of my co-defendant and you know, Larry Krasner, looking at my case and seeing that there was some technicalities and some corruption done, and him being the man that he is, he stepped up, and now I'm back into society. Northside Bull, I know if I need you, you here for me. Free Smooth, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate everything you're saying. And yeah, Free Skip, Big Skip, that's another brother who's in prison, who is trying to fight to get home, who sees the ills of society and trying to do the best thing to help. That was one of my partners when we would go talk to the youth in the prison, and hopefully Allah will bless him to get back into society. But as I said, we will go live several more times and try to see if anybody, like I said, had any questions or concerns. That video was to bring to light that what you may have heard or what you may have seen through movies, through conversation, through, I'm here to shed the light on it. I'm here to show people that there was a lot of lies facilitated on us. There was a lot of lies put on us. There was a lot of slander, and there's still slander going on today. So I'm here to stop this to the best of my ability. I'm here to bring the light. Anybody got any questions about a family member or anything of that nature, who they may have thought was a JBM member? Because one of the biggest things I've seen from being in prison 34 years, there's a lot of people with JBM on their record that never had any affiliations or had anything to do with the JBM. They just got locked up in an era for selling drugs, or maybe an assault in an era where they used the JBM's name to incarcerate people. ITF Sports, glad to see you on board. Can't wait to do some of that positive work with you. When you get a chance, get with me, brother, because you see what we trying to do. Tricky Wheezy Music. You said I really need you to copyright your criminal records. Well, maybe I need you to get in contact with me and show me how to do that. Show me how to do that, because like I said, there's plenty stories, false stories, true to the game, state property, plenty books that was put out, on the JBM. Even the fabrication of the JBM being Junior Black Mafia. The JBM stood for just blowing money. So even this terminology, get down and lay down. These are false statements. Get down and lay down was told to one person, two people, by a man who was drunk. But he was a good friend of mine. He drank too much. He said something, and I guess one of those two people, or maybe both, told somebody else, and that fabrication went out throughout the whole city and outside of the city, because I saw it being used in another movie, sitting in prison watching it. I see my wife Munera. Wave back to you, sweetheart. Assalamu alaikum. Haywood Carter, wave back to you, brother. Khadija, a wave to you. Assalamu alaikum. Like I said, if anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free. I know there's people that don't agree. with the video. So if you don't agree, now's the time to address me.
I'm trying to find a comment. Remember the lady that said something that I read to you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that joint. You remember what it was? You remember what she said? She mentioned something like said something.
I don't know. Hey, Khadijah. I appreciate that, brother. Brother Haywood, I appreciate that. And I'm going to keep on helping our youth because I'm tired of seeing them crash out, bang out, whatever terminology they're using, because that's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. They're killing each other and they're putting themselves in the hands of the authorities. So we're going to end this feed for right now. ITF Sports said they're ready to partner with Philly on being culturally competent, sports-based mental health service to the high-risk youth, and would love to have Just Better Men paintball team. Let's put it together. Let's put it together, bro. You got the number, call me. Haywood, tell my man Big Red Dog, I send my love to him. He was one of the old heads that took me under the wing when I came through the penitentiary at Graterford, acting wild, going crazy, thinking my life was over, thinking I was done. He was one of the old heads, the true old heads. Red Dog pulled me to the side and walked me through it. So much love to Red Dog. So that's the plan to change the narrative of the JBM from just blowing money to just better men. This is what we're attempting to do, and this is what we're going to do. As I said, and as my partner said, I've been working hard since I've been home. I work for PAN, Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network. We're doing a lot of good work, and we here. So as I stated, we'll be back again live. So you think about what it is that you need to address. If you have anything you want to address, and just look me up on _original_black. Also, www.justbettermen.org, and lend your support and lend your helping hand, because this is what we need. We all need to come together. If you know a youth that's buck wild, is crashing out, at least say something to him.
Oh, here, right here.
Talk to him.
Yeah, man, just get behind it. Show some support. We gotta stick together.
This is Karen Moore, 67. She says this story has to be told, but the people who lived, some people with gray hair now. For one, JBM originated from an older generation, and she was totally out of pocket. She said it generated in South Philly, which it didn't, who called themselves JBM, the first people the cops gave that title to. I'm not going to mention the names of the people that she mentioned because that's not what we here for. And a couple of others. So what the initials meant are still questionable. But what is for sure is it made the groups organized, and once you organize unlawful behavior, the feds get involved. My response to that is first and foremost, just blowing money didn't originate from South Philly. It was men that came together, well, young men that came together from all over the city. That's one. Two, yes, true. You organize, the feds will come in and lock you up. But for this day and time, they're putting task force together and piecing things together to knock our youth off. So the story's going to be told, but the story's being told to try to save and help these youth and show them what is going on and what they're in store for. So, yes, we understand that. Yes, there are men who are in prison right now in the feds, who I can say was a part of just blowing money. But these same men have changed their lives and changed the narrative, and the day that they hit the street are going to be a part of just better men in trying to save our youth. I see I have the Elevation Project. It's joined on. Thank you, Latricia, and your group. I was a part of the Elevation Project, and I'm still a part of the Elevation Project. When I was in the penitentiary, they're doing great work. I can't wait to partner with them and do a collab with the Elevation Project and Just Better Men. I've learned a lot from the Elevation Project, Latricia and her team. And as you support Just Better Men, support them as well.
Give us a story before we get out of here.
My comrade,
they want to understand.
It's
all entertainment, man.
He wants a story. One of the stories that he loves the most is my connection and the connection of the JBM to Dapper Dan. Full Money, I see you. Our connection to Dapper Dan, for those who don't know, Dapper Dan back in the 80s and now was a very popular tailor who he serviced all the rap groups from New York and from the West Coast, but he had a personal relationship with us. And we would go to New York, get our cars done with MCM interior, and we would wear jackets, get our jackets, coats made personally by Dapper Dan. I personally met rappers such as LL Cool J, Eric B. Rakim, Biz Markie, and several others sitting in front of Dapper Dan's, in front of his establishment. I see Philly Street Legends have tagged on, and they're talking about the white side with the MCM seats. So there were many cars with those seats from us. But Dapper Dan, one story that I was sitting in prison, and actually the guys from Paid in Full, what was his name?
Which one? Money Mitch or
no,
Alpo?
Not Alpo, the other one. Ace.
Ace. Yeah.
he was telling a story about.
Oh, you on Vlad?
Yeah, he was telling a story about a bulletproof jacket, and he was telling this story as if they initiated this. They was the first ones with this bulletproof jacket. Reality is, me and a couple of my cohorts went down there and asked Dapper Dan to bulletproof our jackets. And he utilized that idea, which we had no problem with, and he made money off of it. But like I said, that was the past. That's the way we lived our life, and I don't want the youth to go that route. You know, I can't stress this enough. This is strictly to show the youth that what you're doing was done damn near 40 years ago. And the outcome is going to be the same. Either you're going to die in prison, they're going to put you away for the rest of your life, or we're going to be doing a janazah for you, or whatever religious denomination you're from is going to be burying you. And we're trying to, inshallah, prevent that and give you the wisdom and knowledge that you need. Not to scare you, because I know I can't scare none of y'all, but to give you the knowledge that you need.
That's what I'm talking about.
Huh? That might be indictment. But what my colleague brought to my attention is that, yeah, those jackets still exist. They're still around. You know, it was a blessing that I was able to find my old jacket. I can't wear it no more because I can't fit it, because I was a young buck back then. But they still exist. But yeah, Dapper Dan played a major role in dressing, you know, the JBM back then. But like I said, all this stuff is just to enlighten. Yeah, for money, I had to blow the dust off of it. I definitely did. So far, it says, what's that?
Of course, keep doing good work.
Yes, we're gonna keep doing good work. We're gonna definitely do good work, positive work. You know, we're traveling all over the country, talking to youth all over America. We're talking to the youth, finding out different ways, things that we can implement into the system in Philadelphia, you know, to address some of this problem from within, behind the walls, so we don't have angry young men and women coming out and recommitting crime, as well as trying to talk to those who are out here now. But, you know, as I said, we're about to sign off. Definitely, because I'm contemplating a book, so we definitely on board with that, because there's so many phony movies been made about the JBM as well as misguiding books. So we definitely on board with that.
Yeah, Capitus _KR asks, would you be cool with your story being made into a movie or a show?
Definitely cool with that.
What about an animation, Joe?
He's stuck on the animation.
You get away with more on the animation.
So I don't know. You know
what I'm saying?
It's a good idea, because I watched the documentary last night on Rick James, and he had animated parts in that. So it's definitely a good idea. I see my younger S. Dot just stepped on. That's a young scholar who's moving around through the city on the same vibe as Just Better Men. I can't wait to do collabs with him. Definitely.
Give our brother Tone. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. I'll definitely let Tone know. I'll definitely give him the greetings. He may be calling me tonight. I'm in contact with all my comrades, you know, and men who I just met in the penitentiary. Yes, sir. S. Dot, I'm definitely your OG, man, all the way. Anything you need, just get with me.
Graham under ready too. I don't want to say no names.
What do you need? What you said? What do you think is needed to help our youth? Attention. One of the things when I talk to the youth, all of them said the same thing. Either they had an old head who misled them. All they want to do is hang out with them, smoke weed, have sex with the young girls, hang out on the corner, never giving them no advice. I had some who told me that all they needed was guidance, somebody to talk to them. So my thing is attention, giving them what they need, giving them the knowledge. And for those who want to do better, who want to work, try to set up either things where they can get the proper training for whatever they want to do and get them a job. But right now, the attention that they need, talking to them and giving them guidance. And this is what Just Better Men is trying to do. We're trying to talk to them and see what the needs that they have. Because if you ask them, they'll tell you. They'll tell you about their old heads. They'll tell you about their mom and their pop and not having a mother and not having a pop. You know, or the old head or the young boy that's in prison telling them that, oh, you can do time. They're not telling them the truth. They're not telling them that when they go behind closed doors, when that cell door is shut, and they sitting on that bunk, beating themselves up because they may have a date to go home, or they may not have a date to go home. And some of them are never going to be real and tell these young bucks that they shedded a tear in the penitentiary. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to say also too, a lot of young boys, they want respect. So you gotta give them respect too. Because you gotta understand that they out here doing what they doing, so you gotta respect that even if you don't agree with it. And also the pandemic really changed a lot, and it created a huge gap between 25-year-olds and 15-year-olds because they was at home online watching a lot of the stuff that's going on in the music industry, movies, televisions, getting high. They was printing the guns out, and that's when a lot of the guns came into the city, and a lot of the young boys got caught up on the internet, being home, bored, and that really changed the city to where it is now. That everybody being in the house during that pandemic, that really turned the young boys up and really created a huge divide where they really on something different. It ain't really about just money for them. They want
just some of these.
Graham _ ready to. Do you feel like a lot of these young groups are fraudulent and
whether they're fraudulent, I need you to keep track because I miss that too. Whether they're fraudulent or not, I can't say. But just look at what's going on out there in the streets. You know, these kids is putting in crazy work, man, and it has to stop. You know, it has to stop. You know, as far as them being fraudulent from an entertainment standpoint, entertainment plays a role because they're looking at the lives of what the rappers are telling them. Some of the rappers live them stories that they tell. You understand what I'm saying? But to glorify and to make money, to make money off of it is understood. But to glorify, there should be a message at the end of it. It should be a message. What you say? Graham _ ready to asked about where do we think that they get the guns from. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know, but I know it's a problem. I know it's a problem, you know, because they plentiful. You know, back in my day, drugs was plentiful because the drugs was coming from back during the Contra War and stuff like that, where you know, I know some of y'all may have watched the show Snowfall. We fell under that same category. We was receiving those same drugs. So drugs was plentiful. It was hard to get a gun back then. Drugs is plentiful. Now, guns are plentiful. So where they getting them from, I can't really put my finger on it. I can't say. But I know that it's a problem.
Who asked that question? No, ain't nobody. And I want to say, no, I wanted to make it clear that I'm not blaming rappers and none of that, because some of them are fools. I'm just saying this was what they was doing. They was home, you know, art imitate life. So movies and music is an exaggerated version of real life. So they not understanding that a lot of entertainers are just entertaining. They think that it's real. So they get caught up in that. Well, it was hard for a lot of youngsters to get a gun nowadays. They're like quarter wars.
Definitely Graham _ready too. It's they plentiful, man. They plentiful, and I think the only way that, you know, I really, it's hard, man. I really can't say. I don't even think the government can do anything now. You know, with the ghost guns, you know, they can go online and get them. The government support these companies. So I don't know, but I'm hoping that we can tap into the consequences of their actions with those guns.
What else can you do to dispel about JBM besides the moniker get down there?
Say it again. What else can we dispel about JBM besides the moniker get down and lay down? One thing, like I said, get down and lay down wasn't used. It spread like wildflowers when it was said to two people. So I've never used it. My comrades never used it. Another thing, that we were making people sell drugs. I've never made a person in my life sell something that was so plentiful. We never had to make anybody sell drugs. And any little skirmishes that we may have ran into was because somebody didn't like the fact that we was in their neighborhood selling drugs. I never pulled up on anybody and said, yo, this is my corner, you're going to do this. Back then, whoever had the best price made the bigger mark.
Journey _
What did he say? The same was. Oh yeah, you correct.
Yeah, 100%.
If that's what they want to do, you know. One thing I'm not going to do, because I want to stay on, and it's not wage war against the government, because the government waged war against me and my comrades, and we lost. I'm not afraid of the government, but we have to address these issues in the proper way. You know, through our legislative officials, bringing these issues to them, and putting them to task to try to change these things. But they definitely can monitor and find out how and the way that these guns are getting into the inner city, because they're not getting nowhere else but the inner city. You know, and look at the plan. You know, wipe out generations, so there's no more babies being made, which will help the next generation. You know, so as long as these young men and women are willing to kill each other, that's wiping out a whole nother generation, because they're not able to reproduce. They're not able to reproduce. So if we don't see that as a whole, as a black, brown community, then we're lost. You know, they did the same thing with the drugs. They gave the drugs to us, told us that, yeah, you make this money, you know, it'll get you out of the ghetto. It'll make you into a better person. And we fell for that. And we ran with that. And we chased that. And we chased it so hard that we chased it into the penitentiary. And we chased it into the ground. And it's the same thing happening now with these little street beefs, corner beefs. They drop them guns in there and say, yeah, solve your problems this way. Social media. Go on social media and say something bad about this person and then tell them where you at. And then after you go and kill that person, go on social media and tell them that you did it. Who you helping? You're not helping yourself. I hope the hip-hop community embraces you politically.
Publicly like they do the mob.
Publicly like they do the mob.
No, they embrace us. They
yeah, we trying to, yeah, we definitely moving. You know, I have several people who I talk to who are politicians who understand, you know. But I'm gonna be honest with you. The real help is gonna come from y'all. The real help is gonna come from y'all. Those who go out in the workforce each and every day, those who vote, those who, you know politicians and you know the political establishment.
No. That's what he said. I hope the hip hop community embraces you publicly like they do the mob, especially after using your story to sell records.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I misunderstood. My comrade reading to me wrong. So we're gonna blame them.
Yeah, put that on me.
Put that on him.
Yeah, I take that.
Yeah,
job.
definitely. I hope they do. I hope they do. I hope they do. I hope the public.
No, but we locked in.
Yeah.
Everything good. Like I said, I mean.
This is what this is for, though. This is what this is for.
Oh, all right. Underscore Ram, do you think all the nonsense killings and shootings are behind the drug game or rap game? No, man, that don't got nothing to do with rap.
It don't have nothing to do with drugs. It don't have nothing to do with rap. The youth that I talk to, and I talk to some people some youth that's really in it, you know. I mean, the average one of them are not making no money. The average one of them don't have a package on the corner. The average one of them don't have a house and a phone where they is doing all these numbers. They don't. They just out here. You understand what I'm saying? They just out here. And the rap music, they smart enough to decipher that. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you notice, the trend is changing. A lot of those drills that's going on is becoming more positive. You know, Lil Durk, he's becoming more positive with his music. You understand what I'm saying? Because he knows that was his lifestyle, and he doesn't want those. He don't want the youth of Chicago or anywhere around the country, around the world, to follow that, because that's something that he went through. That was his lifestyle.
It would also help if they change the laws. The 14-year-old kids on up have free reign. It's hard out here to get help for your child. I'm sick of the life being glorified as a badge of honor.
Definitely. And that's what I'm not going to do. I don't want to glorify my lifestyle and lifestyle of others, which was wrong. I'm gonna glorify this, what we're doing right here, right now. You understand? And this is what I want them to see and understand. You know, I see my nephew tagged on. He all the way over in Kulakan somewhere with his feet in the sand, having fun. Enjoy yourself, nephew. Come home safely.
Ryan underscore Ray. So, what are some key points for the youth to get involved in?
Some of the key points for the youth to get involved with. First and foremost, you know, tap into some of the resources that's out here. Stop limiting yourself to what you're doing. You know, standing on the corner, smoking weed or whatever else you're using. There's resources out here. That same phone that you would get on to find out where your op is at or to track your op is the same phone you can get on to learn where those resources is at that can help you. There's many trade groups. There's many programs set up. And, you know, this is what Just Better Men has established itself for to try to do. And there's a lot of other groups out there that's putting forth these efforts to help our youth.
Journey on short short. We need more brothers like you. And somebody said they was running the ball with you up before. Just a joke, cheating when you on the basketball court up to the grandma school.
Oh yeah, it was. Ain't no cheating going on. I play ball. I do what I do. But I want to address one of the soldiers, my man Riddick, Free Riddick. Free Riddick said, what does he say?
You and I visualize the right moment while we were in prison. Salute, comrade.
This is a true comrade. You know, me and this brother walked the track. Allah blessed him to come back into society after doing almost 30 years. And he's pushing forward to do what he has to do. You know, we on the same page. Anytime I need him, he's there for me, and vice versa. Salute to you too, General, and definitely keep doing what you're doing. And any lend your support to Free Riddick 24. It's definitely peer pressure, Munera. Peer pressure is very strong. That's one component. That's another component to what our youth is going through right now. That slipped my mind, and I appreciate you bringing it to me. I've talked to several youth. Actually, I mentor a youth today. I mean, right now. He's out of town, but I mentor him. And he was telling me about a lot of peer pressure that he received, you know, to do certain things that he didn't want to do. There's a situation where my wife was telling me about, who's a part of Just Better Men. She was telling, and this is Munera, my wife, she was telling me about a shooting that happened in Fairmount Park a couple of weeks ago where a young sister was killed. And actually, me and my wife rode past this gathering. It had to be like 300 to 400 kids just in the park. And the police was on either side, both sides of the gatherings, just sitting there. Once we got home, you know, we saw the news that a young lady was killed. Young Muslim man was killed, and several people was injured. And my wife went on social media, and she was reading some of the comments, and there was a young brother who stated that he didn't want to go to the event, but he received pressure from his peers to go out there, and this is what happened, you know. And he knew the sister who was killed. So yes, peer pressure is great. You know, a lot of these kids don't know how to maneuver around that pressure, you know, and they feel as though that they have to do whatever they're being told to do or asked to do, just to be cool, just to feel like they in and be with the in crowd.
Brand readiness. So do you feel like some of you can do what you accomplished in the past that they can do now?
See that one more time?
Basically, I think he's saying, can they do the same numbers back then they do now? And the cash ain't out there now. Not in Philly anyway.
Oh, well, I really don't keep track of the money that's being made out here in the streets. No. Answer to your question, no. I don't see them, because that's not what they're focusing on. Their focus is not on making money. You know, their focus is on making mayhem. And for some reason, they're bloodthirsty. And this is what's going on. You know, I sat back and watched on YouTube where a young brother went to a brother's grave and was digging him up, you know, and put that on video. You know, who does that? You understand? You know, I wish I could talk to this young brother. Like, to disrespect a grave. you know, of a buried person, a person whoever that person is in that grave is dealing with what they're dealing with. And their family is dealing with what they're dealing with. It can't be that much hatred out here in this society where you would literally go to a grave and attempt to dig it up, you know, and then video it. You know, it can't be that much hatred. It has to be drug driven. It has to be something else being involved in that. You know, because even in my era, we had people who we may have had a beef with. It wasn't no hatred. It was business. It was business. It was nothing about a pure hatred. You know, so
Journey _12. Why is that some youth men think they have to do for themselves at the age of 15? They're being sold that they're men. They aren't men, which leads to them doing things that harm them.
Well, that's Journey _12 Street. I mean, I was in the street as a young man.
You were a man when you were popping the pistols.
You know what I mean? I was out there doing what I was doing, and I mean, some of them, it may be honest, man, that they, you know, some of these young bucks, man, I've talked to, they may be one of 8 kids. Mom is young, she's out in the street, or one of, it don't even have to be 8, it could be one of 3 or whatever. Mom is young, she's out in the street, she's trying to be their friend. Pop is probably in jail, or he just don't give a damn. You understand what I'm saying? And they have to step up and be the grown-up in the household because the mom she's hanging out with them. You understand what I'm saying? So they feel as though they have to be the grown-up. But then they step out into society and they look up to an old head. See, nowadays, those 15-year-old, their old head is 20. You know, back when I was coming, I was 15, my old heads was 40, you know, 40 years old. You understand? But now the old heads is 20 years old and they out there in it as well. So some of these kids, man, you know, they put in a bad situation. You know, and they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the guidance, they don't have someone to tell them like, yo, nah, you don't need to be here. You know, when I first came home, man, I had people coming up to me, and this is nothing to brag, but you know, this is the era, this was that time. I had people coming up to me like, you don't remember me? You used to run me off the corner. I used to come up on the corner and try to gamble and hang around on the corner, and you used to run me off at 32nd in York. And I didn't even remember, you know, but that was that era. That was that era. Only certain people was allowed on them corners. Only certain people was allowed out there to do what they was doing. Now it's a free-for-all.
So, ready. Do you agree that we need jobs for our youth?
Definitely. One of the biggest things I'm going to push for is for, first and foremost, these kids to learn a trade. They have plenty places that's teaching trades. Have them learn a trade, but not only do they learn a trade, set it up for once they finish, they certified, they go straight to a job. They need jobs. They need things to do. We need to open these rec centers back up. We shut down rec centers, we shut down schools, and open more prisons. I even know where the era where that came from. Mayor Nutter. He shut down all the schools and the rec centers, and then all these prisons opened up. So we need to open them back up and to give them something to do.
Compartis _KR. The new generation is desensitized to violence because of the video games, TVs, movies, music. The pandemic just made it worse. True.
See, in the video games, they have a restart button where you shoot a person 15 times and they restart and get back up. Real life don't have a restart button. You know, so just like you carry a gun, somebody else carry a gun and can do the same thing to you. But true, yeah, the video games play that, what's that, Grand Theft Auto. That's a vicious game. Vicious game, you know, where it's all about killing in that game. You understand what I'm saying? But money is being made off of it. And like you said, the pandemic didn't help because they sat back and was desensitized as well as brainwashed.
Journey _ Toe Street, but on the flip side, if they came from a good home, what makes them want to be in the BS? I know you don't have all the answers, but my guy.
I really don't know. You know, it's a thrill for some people. You have thrill seekers. Kids that come from good homes, they wanna be cool. They wanna be down. You understand what I'm saying? So they go to where they can get that from. You understand? That's just like if you have the rich white kid, and I know you've seen it, the rich white kid who hangs around the rappers. You know, he's rich. He doesn't do any music. He doesn't do anything, but he just hangs around the rappers because he likes the lifestyle. And that's how we have our youth who come from a good home. Mom work hard, pop work hard, you know, bringing in the money, or maybe raised from a single parent home, but mom is busting her ass to go out there and get the money. And he's sitting back and looking at them like they nuts. Like they tripping to work so hard. And then he goes out to the streets, and once again, those old heads, you know, come on with us. And that's when you have that.
High cannily, beefy. How do you motivate young black men they want to get high, scam, and play video games?
I see video games as catching the hell of a
but
beat.
also you can't attack them. I'm not disagreeing with nothing. Nobody's saying everybody write their opinion, but you just can't attack them. Like me running around, my little brothers, 2 of them caught up, long sentences. If they feel attacked, they're gonna shut down.
They're gonna shut down.
Nobody, you know what I mean? So
they're gonna shut down.
I mean, it is, you know.
The thing is, what you have to do is try to find out what their needs are. What do they need? You know, let them talk to you instead of you talking at them. You understand? Find out what their needs are. Find out what their concerns are. If you have a youth ear, don't just talk at them. Let them tell you what they need and what they're lacking in. And then you try to help them in that area. And if you can't help them, don't be selfish. Let somebody else help them. Take them to somebody who you know that can help them.
I just want to say that it's easy to blame rap music and all these other things. And I'm not saying that certain things don't play an influence, but a lot of stuff in our community is by design. And we was having these issues before music came along. You know what I'm saying? Now music is just a way for people to get out. So I can't knock stuff like that, because if they see somebody on TV that look like them making millions and millions of dollars, why wouldn't they try to do it? And most of them ain't really like that. They overselling their gangster, but some of them might wind up being like that, or they put people around them that's like that. Here go another jump. Capartis _KR. Do you think what Kendrick did in LA is possible for Philly?
Most definitely. Most definitely. That was big and that was major. That was a major move. It can be done. It can be done because, trust me, a lot of our youth looked at that. And without giving up too much information, we working on that heavy. We working on that heavy. You know, myself, I have the ear of one of our major artists. You know, Philadelphia is one of Philly's major artists. And we working on that now, trying to get that done. But
we can't attack them either. Yeah. Like with the big dogs in the city, we can't attack them. This is stuff that was going on. I know a lot of people seeing how stuff played out online. When these guys get to and attack them guys, you know, they in a position of a lifetime, and they can bring a lot of resources and opportunity to the city, but they not going to do it if you attacking them. Every time you turn around, people slandering them, and just because somebody do something you don't like, don't mean you should throw them away. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, everybody got a right to have an opinion.
I see my man Uptown Surge is on.
You also got the ears of the other OGs.
True soldier, another true soldier who I did time with, who came home, hit the ground running, you know, and trying to help, you know.
Cannonly, beefy. What Kendrick did is a prime example of using music for good.
Facts. That's facts. Facts.
Journey _12 Street. Can you have a million black family march? We need to hear the same message on the same chord.
That's strong. That's strong. I hope that I can get that much momentum to get our people together like that, because you said it, family, man. You know, a lot of these problems come from the broken household. That's what it comes from. Comes from the broken household. Just Better Men, you know, our thing is turning trauma into triumph, because a lot of trauma is going on in these households, man. A lot of stuff is happening. Kids are being molested. Kids are being sent out to do the things that a grown up is afraid to do, you know. And the kids are being told won't nothing happen to you because you're young, and which is a lie.
Yeah, Pennsylvania sentenced the most juveniles to life sentences than anywhere. Graham _ready to. Now, not to discredit any of Kendrick, but that's our problem. We quit to agree with outsiders, and here it is yourself here speaking and doing the same thing. Oh, we ain't trying gang war, man.
Yeah, but we hey, listen, this platform here, Trick.
Yeah.
This platform here, I hope a brother like Kendrick may see it, but we don't need Kendrick. Kendrick, I love what he's doing. I love what we're doing, but we got some influence right here in Philadelphia, man.
A lot.
We got some big influence in here in Philadelphia, and I know they hear me now. You know, I know they hear me, and they follow me like I follow them. And yeah, we gonna put this together. We working on this right now.
Uptown ERG. We also need to understand that it's okay to see things differently. True, political differences are necessary for progress. No, fact.
That's true. That's Uptown Series. That's my man there. Love him to death.
Tricky music. The reason why Philadelphia closed 25 schools down some years back, it was because a thing that they are using against the state inmates who are from Philadelphia is called gerrymandering.
Definitely. But you know, that caused a lot of problems, man, because you know our youth didn't have nothing to do. You had nothing to do. But it's all by design, man. That's what I need people to see. This is by design. This didn't happen. You know, we just didn't wake up and this was going on. This was decided behind closed doors somewhere by some suit and ties who think that they know everything. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the problem. That's the problem.
Cap Artist _KR. We need to push the positive aspects of our Black American culture harder than the corporations push the negative. Yeah, that's what Kendrick Jones, not like us. That's code for what you just said.
Exactly.
So, you know,
Exactly.
Code word.
Exactly.
That's why people like it so much, because it's cold. Journey _12. Wells Fargo's let's acclaim it. Let's do it again because we need help. Things are out of control with our community. Wells Fargo's let's claim it.
Oh, he said let's do. You know, Kendrick did it at a
Oh
stage.
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
We, you know,
that be fly. All the artists come here and do some joint like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We put something together. But we working on it.
Journey _12 Street. Teach the kids the point system they need to know. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, well, we definitely got to teach them that. We definitely got to teach them that. Because if they don't learn it, then they'll learn the other point system, and that's in the penitentiary, because they have one in there too. They have their own.
Yeah, that's it. All right, man. We're gonna.
I love this interaction. I love the response. Let's keep this going. Let's do this. You know, and like I said, Just Better Men is gonna keep working to change the narrative. You know, please. You got hatred in your heart. Leave it right where it's at, because we don't need that. We don't need that energy around us. We don't need that energy.
Two more, and then you know what I mean. We're gonna say deuce. Graham _ready to. I was one of those young guys following behind what you had going on. Went through the JV and adult bid, and today I'm a walking blessing. Today that there's still a chance. That's what's up.
And we need you to tell your story.
That's what's up.
We need you to tell your story.
Uptown ERG. Also, music isn't to blame for the violence. Music explains the culture, not the other way around. Facts.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely Uptown Surge. Definitely. Okay, I see my work partner Marcus join. Okay, so listen, we're gonna cut this off, and I'll be back. Stay tuned for the book. We're working on that, and amongst other things. And as usual, stay focused on the important matters. Stay focused on the important matters. And we out.
Be safe out there.